And the man of the hour joins us. He is truly a company man today with the T-shirt on. Denny, welcome in. You've been a hot topic on this show. I know that's nothing new to you.
Yeah, listen, I'd like to publicly apologize for Kenny Pickett, first of all, who let us all down, I think, with Diontae Johnson. And Matthew, he checked with me 2 or 3 times. He said, are you sure? Are you sure with Diontae over Bijan? And he didn't know, for some reason, that I'm a Tyler Algier dead ender. Okay, you got to know that about me.
Yeah, no, like I was nervous about Arthur Smith. I've been ranting about Arthur Smith, and I've just I could just see him getting cute. And Tyler Algier, and it was against Arizona, and I'm just like, I could just see Algier getting the first touchdown, and then Arthur Smith being like, I'm going to ride the hot hand, and you see, Algier is good. Shut up, all you Bijan Robinson truthers. And Diontae Johnson, to your point, he'd been a top 10 wide receiver, I think, for 3 straight weeks, massive target share. Guillotine leagues are all about floor, and so I felt like the floor on Diontae Johnson was better than Bijan, who could have a bigger game, obviously, but also a lesser game because Arthur Smith is crazy. So I was on the fence, and then your insistence on Diontae Johnson and my blind, dumb trust in you made me, I own my own decisions. It was my call. I made the call. Also, by the way, Travis Etienne and Lamar Jackson did not help either. They both crapped the bed last week as well. But it's easier and candidly funnier to blame you, Denny. And so that's what I am doing, and I'm instructing the audience to go to YouTube after the show, to go to your Q&A on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel, and do nothing but ask you questions as to why you hate Barry. Why did you sabotage my guillotine leagues? With a smile.
I did it. I was sent by your league mates into the studio to give you bad advice. I want you to know that.
Yeah.
Hey,
that
Denny,
makes sense.
while you're apologizing for Kenny Pickett, I'd also like to apologize for you. In that video, I said that you use the word funnel disproportionately for a regular human being. You're not a regular human being, not even close. You're a very special human being. So
Thanks, man. I do say funnel a lot. I'm going to try to avoid it today.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're skewing the line.
No, lean into it.
No, you should lean into it. You should
Sorry to the overbetters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone, like 90% of bets are on overs. Come on, now everyone's taking the over on 15.5. Just lean into it, for the love of God.
No way.
Denny joins us every single Friday for the regression files. To read the full article, go to NBCSports.com. Players who are overproducing or underproducing based on their workload, playing time, and opportunity. Denny, let's start with the negative one this week. Who are you looking at on that side of things?
George Kittle, because, man, he is getting away with it like nobody else, okay? I'm going to try not to bore the audience with all the metrics, but let's just say that George Kittle is really getting by with elite tight end 1 production, sometimes on 3 or 4 targets. Last week, 4 targets against the Jaguars, 116 yards and a touchdown, thanks to that pseudo Hail Mary that Brock Purdy threw up. And we're going to give him all the credit, okay? I'm not, this is not a shot against Brock Purdy, who may be overrated. But he threw it up. Kittle caught it, went for the touchdown. This has happened several times this year. Kittle has 4 or fewer targets in 5 games this season. It just can't last. So what I'm saying is, be careful about who you start Kittle over. I think if you have a guy like Dalton Schultz, who has, I think, a much safer PPR floor, I think you lean his way, because Kittle is not commanding targets the way he has. His route running is a little bit down. And this Niners offense, as we know, wants to be super run heavy. That all goes against Kittle.
Barry, you were very skeptical on Kittle coming into the season, and kind of plays to what Denny said about this week.
He's the tight end equivalent of Mike Tomlin, who also keeps getting away with it. We love George Kittle here. He's been a guest on the show. He's he's a friend of the podcast, and we love Mike Tomlin. But yes, both have had more success than they should, given the the Kenny Pickettness of it, or just the lack of targets, as you will, for George Kittle. I do have him as a top 3 play this week against Tampa Bay, which I don't think is a particularly imposing defense. I think Purdy and the entire passing offense. But I understand what you mean, which is that Kittle might be a sell high, whether it's this week or next week. You're right. He cannot sustain this level of fantasy production given his role in the offense. The fact that Debo is back healthy as well, right. with everyone back there, I think that's a bit of concern.
Yep. Firstly, Denny,
Debo makes all the. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Debo makes all the difference for Kittle. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yep, yeah. Absolutely. Firstly, unbelievable pot shot at Brock Purdy on your way out there, the leader in the NFL in passer rating, QBR, and EPA per play. But
Denny's mean. Denny's smiley, so you think he's nice, but he's not.
Doesn't like production. He doesn't like production from the quarterback position, and he never has.
He doesn't like production. He doesn't like button-down shirts.
No.
He doesn't like me. Honestly, when you think about that, there's a lot of he's a hater, is what he is, Jay. He's a hater.
Oh, I'm a hater. Yeah, no, I tend to hate everything. So you're right about that.
He's got Odell Beckham in his bad regression section after we just talked about how much we love OBJ. But another guy that you don't love, Denny, is Courtland Sutton, fresh off of his 1 in 1,000 touchdown pass that he caught from Russell Wilson on Monday Night Football. But you think he's unsustainable because of his touchdown production inside the 10.
Yes, I mean, really, really quite productive, quite efficient inside the 10-yard line. All of his touchdowns this year have come on 9 targets. I think 8 touchdowns on 9 targets inside the 10. I'm going to run the numbers real quick and tell you that probably can't last. And also, the Broncos over the past month have turned into an ultra run heavy, not going to say funnel, offense. And that's not good for Judy. It's not good for Courtland Sutton. It's great for Javonte Williams, who's just going to be, I guess, ridden as a workhorse, as a centerpiece of this Denver offense going forward. So I don't think that you can look at Courtland Sutton's recent production, although he did have a pretty good target share, I will say, against Buffalo last week. I don't think you can look at that and say, okay, this is what I'm going to get projecting forward in this Broncos offense.
All right, Denny, let's look at a more positive side of things. Who's a positive regression candidate for this weekend?
Yeah, man, it's the cover guy on the regression files. It's Chris Godwin. And look, I didn't go into this exercise this week thinking, oh, I'm definitely going to highlight Chris Godwin. But Mike Evans, as I outlined in the regression files piece, Mike Evans is not dominating air yards and target share in this Tampa offense the way I thought he was. And honestly, Chris Godwin has gotten very unlucky. He's been tackled inside the 3-yard line 3 times this season, including 2 weeks ago. And last week, he led the team in air yards. I think that he's going to see a lot of volume in this game against the Niners in Week 11 because the Niners are I'm going to say it. They're a pass funnel, folks. They're a pass funnel. Ding. And the Bucs are a pass first team. You know, whether they like it or not, they are, because Rachaad White not been very good. Nobody else is very good in that backfield, so they've had to drop back a lot. I think you can lock in, I don't know, 40 plus dropbacks for Baker Mayfield this week. That should be great for Evans and Godwin.
Barry, how about a positive regression candidate for you?
So I read Denny's article. I hate read it every single week. Like, this guy. But he brings up one good point, which is
only one.
No, many good points. You should read the article, but hate read it like I do.
3 good points.
Yeah. Tony Pollard, who is of course the cover boy on the Roto-World Fantasy Football Draft Guide magazine. It has not been a banner year for Tony Pollard. I forget who. Was it you? No, Denny, who was your recommendation to me for my ride or die? Somebody recommended Tony Pollard to me.
It was not me. I recommended Anthony Richardson.
Okay, yeah, that would have been a good one. That actually, I mean, obviously
Maybe
injury,
Kyle?
but
Maybe
might have been
Kyle?
Kyle Dvorak. Yeah, I think it was Kyle Dvorak, actually. Bad call by Kyle. Just catching strays here. Poor Kyle. But here's the thing. Tony Pollard is too good, and he's getting too many opportunities. I don't know that it's necessarily this week. Again, I am at running back 6 this week. I still believe in Tony Pollard going against a Panthers defense that has allowed the most rushing touchdowns to running backs, the 2nd most fantasy points to opposing running backs, the 3rd highest rush EPA, the 3rd highest rush yards after contact per attempt. Like, it's an unbelievable matchup. Only Christian McCaffrey has more inside the 20 rush attempts than Tony Pollard. Like, so he's getting the opportunity just for whatever reason, bad luck, bad blocking. He just hasn't been able to cash that in. He is too good. This offense is rolling too well in Dallas that's not sustainable. He will start getting into the end zone sooner rather than later. So I thought it was going to start happening last week. I think it happens this week. Even if it doesn't happen this week, I think it's going to happen eventually. I'm with you, Denny, on Tony Pollard getting better.
I mean, it has to happen. I know we said that this last week against the Giants. Okay, Giants are a pretty bad run defense, but Carolina is pretty much in a tier by themselves as far as bad rush defenses go. Okay, again, not going to bore you with the metrics, but the metrics point to possibly the worst rush defense in the league over the past month. I think that if Pollard can't get it done against the Panthers, it's a disaster. And also we have to say Mike McCarthy comes out and starts talking about Rico Dowdle a little bit this week. I don't know, guys. I'm a little bit hesitant, but it's got to happen.
If Tony Pollard can't get it done this week, I'll say this. If Tony Pollard can't get it done this week, Mike McCarthy should be fired.
You're fired on a 7-3 team.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't care that they're 7-3. I don't care that the offense is that Dak has looked better than he ever has in like 3 years. Mike McCarthy should be fired.
Yeah, he's turned Dak into an MVP candidate. He should be fired.
He should be fired.
Yeah.
He should be fired without
I wasn't
thought.
ready for that. And
Yes.
That's
I
surprising.
thought it would be like, maybe you're worried about starting Pollard.
Yeah.
No. No.
Maybe
Cost
they
the man
should
his job.
change the run game schematically.
Nope.
Mike
Yeah.
McCarthy on the unemployment
go.
line. Him and Ken Dorsey.
Dak will be next.
Yeah, exactly.
Another 4 touchdown game from you, Dak, and you're fired. Tony Pollard doesn't
You
do
can
that.
catch Denny for his live fantasy football Q&A right after happy hour at 1 p.m. Eastern time on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel.
I thought doesn't Jay have one from his article?
No, we already
He went-
did.
we
We
did
called
it.
him
He
Sutton.
went. Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
Sutton.
busy, I was
You were
busy thinking about the
somewhere.
Mike McCarthy joke.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Denny, great
Sorry.
seeing you. Thanks
You
for
know what,
joining
Denny?
us.
I don't read the rundown. I just want to admit
Seems
that.
important.
Oh, listen, when I'm talking opposite you for 2 minutes.
That's the process.
Yes.
Yeah, that is just a little behind the scenes. Just a little,
Yeah, pull back
thing.
the curtain
I
on
know. I thought there was another. Anyway, I thought there was
science
another
behind
player.
it.
I thought there was another player after Sutton. It doesn't matter. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine.
Listen, I had OBJ in the bad part of the article, so maybe you want to fade the article this week. Although you should still go to NBCSports.com and read it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Clicks.
No. Listen. Yeah. Tell me more about Deontay Johnson, Denny. So I sit at home in my guillotine leagues.
See you,
Never heard of
Denny.
him. Never heard of him.
Bye, Denny.
Denny Carter will be on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel at 1 o'clock Eastern. Please go troll him. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.